Okay, here we are at Guadalupe Mountains National Park in northwest Texas. And just to get an overview of what the mountains look like. The highest point is a little over 3,000 feet. I think it's around 3,300 feet. And they extend well into New Mexico. And we're looking north now, actually northeast. This is the park headquarters and information center. All right, we're leaving the visitor center now. We're beginning a hike. I think we're going to take the hike to Devil's Doorway. We don't have enough time to do some of the other hikes. Bonnie's toe is bothering her a little bit. So again, we're in the Chichillan, well, I don't think I've said that right, Chihuahuan Desert. There we go. So it's the same desert that we had seen throughout our trip here in Texas. And we are just on the border with New Mexico. And the trail that we're on right now heads toward the campground. This campground doesn't have any hookups. The only place there's water in the whole park for drinking is at the visitor center and at the campground. So we've packed quite a bit of water with us because it's going to get warmer today than yesterday. And the round trip is, I think, around 6 miles for this trip. All right, it's time to go up toward Devil's Hall and Guadalupe Peak. The scenery looks kind of familiar. It should, since we're still in the Chihuahua National Forest. I'm sorry, Park. Desert. We'll get it right yet. And it's up and up and up we go. I like hiking. A little more green vegetation in this area. And actually there's a pine tree ahead of us. And of course those take more water. It's growing, of course, in this wash below here. And washes tend to have more water closer to the surface of the earth. And again, we're on the I think it's Devil's Doorway trail. It has not been going up since we turned off to the right. It's been pretty level, a little bit of up, a little bit of down. But later on, I think it's supposed to go up pretty significantly. Yeah, it looks like that's right in front of us. So it's going to go up again after a little down. Oops, excuse me. Wow, here's an interesting tree. We have not seen one like this on our trip. Well greened out. And look it looks like it has no bark. Smooth branches. But I do not know the species. It's interesting. It's nice to see something a little bit different. And here's that dry wash right below where I just took that video of this tree significantly washed away. Now it looks like the trail is going to be going up. Well, we're still on the trail to Devil's Doorway. See, we're getting a little higher as the peaks show up. You know, if there's trees here. There's a few oak just behind us. Fuzzy leafed oak, I think they're called. A lot of cedar and yucca plants. Here's one of those oaks. Well, here we are on Devil's Doorway Trail. Stopped here in the shade of a spruce tree. Got ourselves a drink of water. And we have some mountains in the background, I guess you'd say. Actually, we've got a nice little breeze coming down off the mountain right now. I wasn't smart and didn't wear shorts. But as we go higher in elevation, it should cool off some too. We've got some green leaves here, the fuzzy oak leaf. A little bit of fuzz on them, but not a whole lot. Look how branchy and twiggy these trees are. Just very, very common to have these kinds of twiggy, branchy trees in desert climate. Okay, one of the yucca plants with its seed stalk from last year sticking way up above it. And this is the direction that we came from. Over here we have the fuzzy leafed oaks. Down in the draw we have a pine tree, probably ponderosa, cedar, or fuzzy leafed oak. And this is the way we're headed. Okay, the trail has taken us down into the wash, and we're supposed to follow the wash. Keep moving. Supposed to keep following the wash at least for a while. And I've been pronouncing the name of the place we're going to as Devil's Doorway, but it's not. The correct name is Devil's Hall. So now we're down in this wash. And there's our intrepid adventurer doing some rock climbing. Oh, there's a rock in the way.
You could trip on the wrong one.
Yeah. And she did it. And the wash seems to be getting narrower. To the left, Bonnie. Yes. I'll do some more rock scrambling. To your right. It's a good example of how trees or other plants grow in the route that's available to them. Come down, hit rock, and send those roots sideways. Here's a nice example of how the rock was layered depending upon different conditions in which the rocks were formed. Well, we need to stop and take some water breaks as we're going up this wash. It's quite a bit of boulder scrambling. Of course, with washes, you're going to have all kinds of uneven bouldering. And that's what we have in front of us yet. I guess this is considered one of the more strenuous hikes. All right, we're in an alcove here, made of conglomerate. I guess this conglomerate a little bit lower here must be a little bit weaker than that above it. Got this little cool area here. You'd think that this conglomerate wouldn't be able to hold together very well. Well, still on our way to Devil's Hallway. More rock scrambling. Well, on our way to Devil's Hallway. Do a little stair climbing here. Whoa, a little slippery. Up and over. I think this is the first look at the hallway. Wow. I'll be back in shortly, B. Well, this is where we go up next. Keep coming. Keep pull, and step. All right, I'll be there and help. Look at that brave little girl. Can you believe she scrambled along this area right here? I'm so proud of her.
I'm proud of myself too.
And we've got all kinds of flies down here by this water hole.
Oh, got more too?
My goodness, is it buzzing. Yay! Well, I guess this is a hall, isn't it? It's nice and cool here in the shade. We got a breeze coming down through. So it's pretty comfortable in the shade. Otherwise in the sun it gets kind of warm. And then more boulder scrambling. Well, here we are eating lunch in Devil's Hall. So I guess this is a Devil's Lunch Hall.
It's a nice lunch.
Okay, now I am through Devil's Hall. Continuing up the wash. It's amazing how vegetation gets rooted in these rock crevices and can get enough moisture to live. Nice little rock ledge here. Looks like the wash is getting a bit narrower up here and steeper. There is a loop trail that meets up with another one, but unfortunately this area is closed because of mating habitat. I mean habitat for some animals up in here. So it's closed from March through November, unfortunately, because I did want to take that loop. All right, we're heading back the way we came. Got all these layers of, I'm not sure what it is. It's probably limestone. There might be some shale in here. There's certainly some conglomerate. This might be shale here. Might be limestone. I'm not sure. In front of me, I have this tall spire. We're on our way down the trail from Devil's Hall, and this is what the cliffs look like here. Unfortunately the sun's not shining on them, but I guess we can't have everything. After we got back from our hike to Devil's Hall, we went to the region of the park where there are some springs and hiked there. This spring produces 6.5 gallons per minute. Got here channeled to drain out this way. That'd be great for irrigation. But unfortunately, you've got this building closed off right now. Museum. Oh, we've got a trail here. I guess this is the way we're walking. And here the other side, we saw earlier, channeled off. And they've got two different ways it goes. You can go here to the right, down to this grove of trees here, or go to the left, to a different grove. Looks like they have some fruit trees right up in here. Wow, that sure looks like a cinder cone, doesn't it? An old volcano. It's got a perfect cone shape. This is a dry wash or arroyo on that spring trail. That sheer wall right over here. Notice we have more trees down inside there because we have more water, of course. Wow, talk about being tenacious. Isn't that something? It looks like it should be completely dead. You got some pretty live branches there. See, it's got some coming out of the base here too, in case the rest of it dies. It's got something coming, shoots coming up. All right, the trail has taken us down into the dry wash, the arroyo. Now we're going up on the other side of this trail, on this trail. We're near the top of the trail. We're just going to work back down toward the beginning point since it's a loop. But this is the lower area outside the park on the other side of the highway there. Well, here's where we cross the arroyo again. Go to the other side. Sorry about that, hitting the camera. And we're going to go back along the other side of the mountain.
Oh, so this now we're going to taking a loop?
Yeah, it's a loop. And you should be able to see the trail somewhere over in that area. The trail's getting a little more interesting now that we're getting higher in elevation. There's a number of different ravines that we have to go across as the dry washes come down out of the mountains and then feed into that main one. And the dry washes are getting narrower. Oh. That way, yep. Well, now I think we've reached the top of the trail. And you should be able to hear this running water, the spring coming out of the mountain here into a nice little pool. It's flowing pretty well. This thing's branched off here. One branch going to the right, one branch going here to the left. A little easier hike here, where they've got these paving stone rocks on the trail up by the spring.
Is that what's there, you think?
Sure. Of course you can. Oh. Mm-hmm. On our way back to the trailhead, we saw mule deer and javelinas, and thus our trip to Guadalupe National Park came to an end.